Hi, my name is Abhay Gupta and today I will be giving you the introduction to posets. First of all, let's take an overview of the topics which we will talk about today. First will be definition of posets. Second, strong inclusion. Then we'll talk about weak inclusion, example of posets, ordered set and partial ordered set, comparable posets, chain, and at the last I will give you a question for overview for better understanding of the topic. Now first start with definition of posets. A way to define a partially ordered set is to say that it is a system of elements along with a binary relation designated by A less than B, which is both transitive and irreflexive. In this definition, I have used three terms: binary relation, transitive, and irreflexive. To understand this definition, let's go through these terms first. First is binary relation. In mathematics, a binary relation over two sets x and y is a set of ordered pair x, y consisting of elements in x and y in y. That is, it is the subset of the Cartesian product x cross y. Now the second term, transitive. A relation R on X is said to be transitive if X relates Y and Y relates Z implies X relates Z. And the third, irreflexive. Now for understanding irreflexive, let's talk about the term reflexive first. A relation R on X is said to be reflexive if for all X belonging to X, X relates to X. Now for irreflexive, just take the negation of the statement. Now let's go through the definition of posets again. By understanding these three terms, now you will get a better view of the definition. Now, a way to define a partially ordered set is to say that it is a system of elements along with a binary relation designated by A less than B, which is both transitive and irreflexive. Transitive suggests if A less than B and B less than C, then A should be less than C. And irreflexive suggests that we never have A less than A. Now, these two properties suggest that the relation is antisymmetric. Now, what is antisymmetric? Relation R on X is said to be antisymmetric if X relates Y and Y relates X implies X is equal to Y. Now you will think that I have not defined it in the same way as I have defined irreflexive. In irreflexive, I first gave the definition of reflexive and then said to take the negation of it. But here I have not done the same because symmetric says that a relation R on X is said to be symmetric if X relates Y implies Y relates X. But in antisymmetric, it states that if X relates Y and Y relates X implies X is equal to Y. These both are not negation of each other's. There is a difference. That's why never get confused between symmetric is the negation of antisymmetric, because it is not. Now we never have both A less than B and B less than A. We call this relation as a strong inclusion. Now let's understand in a different slide that what is strong inclusion. A subset S of the Cartesian product x cross x is called an order on the set X if the following conditions are satisfied: that x comma x not belong to S for every element x of x comma y belong to S and y comma z belong to S, then x comma z belong to S for every three elements x, y and z of x respectively. Now these two conditions simply says that it is irreflexive and transitive relation. Now as we're talking about strong inclusion, then there must be something called weak inclusion. So now let's go through that. A weak inclusion. A subset S of the Cartesian product x cross x is called a partial order on the set X if the following conditions are satisfied. The first condition is that x comma x belong to S for every element x of x. Second is if x comma y belong to S and y comma x belong to S, then x equal to y for every two elements x and y of x. And the third is if x comma y belong to S and y comma z belong to S, then x comma z belong to S for every three elements x, y and z of x. Now these three must be looking similar to you because we have talked about it in the previous slides. The first relation is reflexive, the second is antisymmetric, and third is transitive. Now there are two ways of defining a partially ordered set. I have first used strong inclusion and then weak inclusion, but they both are equivalent. Now what the word equivalent means here is that if I will take the statement of strong inclusion true, then I can prove it is weak inclusion, and the other way around, if I will take the statement of weak inclusion true, then I can prove that it is a strong inclusion. Now it is more convenient to take weak inclusion A less than B as the fundamental notion, even though there three postulates are required to define it instead of only two. As we've seen in that weak inclusion, we have used three relations, but in strong inclusion, we have only used two relations. But the fundamental notions goes with the proving three relations. Now, let's go through an example of partial ordered set. If X has elements A, B, C, and D, and let S contains A, B, B, C, D, D, A, B, C, B, D, A, C, and A, D, then this will be a partial order on X because the three relations are being satisfied here. The first was of reflexive. You can see that A, A belong to this set. Second was the transitive, in which if A, B is there and B, C is there, then A, C should also be there. And the third was antisymmetric, which states that if X relates to Y and Y relates to X, then it should imply X is equal to Y. You can see that if A, A is there, then the vice versa A, A is there, which simply says that A is equal to A. Now for convenience, we use this notation to denote X, Y belong to X. In the customary way, as we have done above, we let X less than Y denote that X is less than equal to Y and X not equal to Y. So this set can easily be written in this way: A less than equal to A, B less than equal to B, C less than equal to C, and so on. This is another way of representing our partial ordered set. Now let's talk about the difference between an ordered set and partial ordered set. We have talked about this in the previous slides, but we haven't given emphasis to the difference between these two. Let's talk about them individually. An ordered pair is called a partially ordered set if this notation is used for defining an order on the set X. The element of X are called points, elements, or sometimes vertices. An ordered pair is called an ordered set if this is an order on the set X. The difference between them is a simple symbol of equality, which we have seen how it can change the definition of our sets in the previous slides. Now, as we all know that order relation is transitive and reflexive, so we have stated a theorem here. If X comma less than is an ordered set and X, Y belong to X with X less than Y, then Y less than X does not hold. This is very easy to understand. The proof is also very easy. We have used our favorite tool, contradiction. The proofs goes like this: assume the contrary, that X less than Y and Y less than X, but by the transitivity of this relation, it follows that X less than X, which simply contradicts the reflexivity of this relation. This is a very easy proof and a very easy theorem. Now let's move ahead, and as we have talked earlier that weak inclusion and strong inclusion are equivalent. Now let's prove them. First theorem states that let X comma less than equal to be a partial ordered set. Define a relation by X less than Y if and only if X less than equal to Y but X not equal to Y, where X, Y belong to X. Then this will be an ordered set. Now this proof is also very simple, and it goes like this: that assume that there is an element X in X such that X is less than X. By the definition of less than, we obtain x less than equal to x, but x does not equals to x. Now this is simply a clear contradiction of the equality, x equal to x. So that's how we prove this with the help of a contradiction. Now the other way around, second theorem. Let x comma less than be an ordered set. Define a relation by x less than equal to y if and only if x less than y or x equal to y, where xy belongs to x. Then this will be a partial ordered set. Its proof goes like this. Now since x is equal to x for every x belonging to x, we have x less than equal to x. The transitivity of this relation implies the transitivity of this relation. The transitivity of less than implies transitivity of less than equal to. Now let x by z belongs to x with x less than equal to y and y less than equal to z. Then by the distributivity of and or we have x less than y and y less than x or x equal to y, and hence x is less than y or x equal to x since this is transitive. Now as you all know, x cannot be greater than equal to x is not equal to x. This is impossible, which simply follows that x is equal to y. So this is how we prove the theorem 2, and now let's move ahead. Now I will talk about what are comparable posets and incomparable posets. Two distinct elements x and y in a poset are comparable if either x less than equal to y or y less than equal to x, which means that they both have any relation. But if they both have no relation between them, then they are called incomparable. We denote x and y incomparable by this notation. For example, if we define a partial order a comma a, b comma b, c comma c, a comma b, a comma c on a set x, a, b, c, then a and b and a and c are comparable. As you can see that there is a relation between a and b and a and c, but there is no relation between b and c, so they will be incomparable. Now we will talk about chain and anti-chain. A poset is called a chain if every two distinct elements of x are comparable, and anti-chain if every two distinct elements of x are incomparable. That is, there is no non-trivial relation on a set x. For example, the set of natural numbers under the natural order forms a chain. If the number of elements of x is n, then a chain is denoted by Cn, while an anti-chain is denoted by this notation. We will go through this chain after I will explain you the representation of posets in the next video. Then you will get a better understanding of what is a chain and what is an anti-chain. Now let's move ahead. Now let be a poset xy belonging to x. We say y covers x denoted by this notation if x less than y and there is no z belonging to x such that x is less than z and z is less than y. For example, a comma a, b comma b, c comma c, a comma b, b comma c, a comma c be a partial order on a set x, a, b, c. Then b covers a and c covers b, but not c covers a. You will understand this example more in detail after the discussion about the Hess diagram, which I will tell in the representation of posets in the upcoming video. Now we all know that we denote the set of real numbers by r, rational numbers by q, and integers by z. We note that every integer n plus 1 covers n in the poset z, but not in r and q. This is a quite obvious statement, which we will understand after the discussion of the Hess diagram. Now talking about the applications, partial ordered sets have a wide area, many applications, especially in number theory, discrete mathematics, theoretical computer science, graph theory, industrial engineering, and in many more. So now talking about more examples of posets which will help you understand the topic in a more good way. First of all, the first example, the Px consists of all subsets of a given set X, and let A less than B less than equal to B means that A is a subset of B where AB belongs to Px. Then this will be a poset. Now let X be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, and let x less than equal to y means x is the divisor of y. This is the relation where x, y belong to x, then this will be a poset. The set of functions from the set R of real numbers to itself is a partial ordered set under the relation defined by f less than equal to g if and only if fx is less than equal to gx for every x belonging to R. These are quite simple examples. You can go through them again if you want to. Now talking about the cardinality of the poset, let this be a poset. The number of x comma less than equal to is the cardinality of the underlying set x denoted by this notation. Now as before closing the video, I said that I will give you a question for review. You can go through this question and try to solve it, and if you have any doubt you can ask in the comment sections. I will explain you in the next video the answer and how to go through with this question. Let me read out this question for you. Let x have x1 till xn elements and this be a set, and if it is defined by two binary relations by these xi relates to xj if and only if xi is poorer than xj, xi relates to xj if and only if xi is busier than xj. Now can we say these two are posets? Then you have to define a new relation on x as follows. If xi relates to xj if and only if xi is poorer and busier than xj, that is simply this is I've given you in these notations. Now can we say that this is a partially ordered set? Think about this question and try to solve it. Will help you clear all your doubts of the topic which we have discussed today. So here I will be closing my video, and if you have any doubts in this video you can ask me in the next session. Thank you.